There we go.
Shit, what's up, Negro? Look at that. Oh, shit. Don't fuck with that, bro. You can't even bend the fuck. Can't even bend the rim on that bitch. Hold on. Hold on.
Yep. I got my Fruit of the Loom hoodie on, man. My Fruit of the Loom, man. I'm rocking. $10 hoodie. $10.
So we turn that down a little bit. You know, I gotta play my shit. What's up, bro? Let's see, where you been? Sleeping, motherfucker?
Yeah, man. I was wore out. I slept. I fell asleep about 8, right before 8 o'clock or around 8 o'clock.
Oh,
You
here
know,
we go.
after I got home and 8, I fell asleep.
Here we go.
That was pretty cool, man.
Let's go skiing together. Fuck people, man. I told motherfuckers. So I gotta turn that down. You like the hat?
Yeah, that's a pretty cool hat, man. That's
Yeah,
something I never owned. I never owned a Adidas hat before, but I did have like the little white and black toboggan and the headband.
I'm all decked out. Look at it. Look at it. Except I don't got my. See, look at it. I got this on. I got this. This. My pants, bro. But my shoes, I don't got my Adidas shoes on. I got some cheap fuckers on.
Hey, it don't matter, man.
No, I got all that shit. I got pimpalicious. Shit. I'm pimped out, bro. I'm pimped out. That's my new word is bro.
Yeah, I thought of a good title to think of.
What's that?
We could add on to the PSYOPs that's been going since January 6th. Censorship on all platforms, even Parler being took down.
Parlor.
Yeah, Parler.
Oh.
See, Parler is taking over now. They got threatened. They either these big tech companies like I would say Facebook and Twitter. They even suspended the president's account. Now, the fishy thing about that is it's all a psyop and a setup. What they're planning to do in the next
How do we
couple
even know
days.
it's fucking Trump? That's the thing about it is. Because usually these, like, I mean, there's no evidence. It's hard to prove whether it's actually Donald Trump. Just because it says a real Donald Trump, can we see the
Right.
motherfucker on the keyboard? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of music groups,
Right.
bands, artists, stuff like that. Of these big, they're not ran
Right.
by them. They're ran by somebody else.
Well, the reason I said it's a psyop, I mean, it's the president of the United States, and he should have the ultimate, power. Because you think he was the one asking all of his voting crowd to show up on the 6th. Well, I find it, it just don't add up. I've been watching other channels too, and they seem to think this as well. For some of the other channels that talk about it. It's a setup to take away free speech. Not only that, but
take away
the incoming presidency of Sloppy Joe.
Sloppy, yeah.
It's getting set up for him to when he gets in, the way it looks. When he gets in, to go ahead and do away with free speech entirely, and where he's going to go after all the platforms because the government and big tech, work together hand in hand. Because you think about it, yeah, the Congress is on there grilling Zuckerberg and them, on TV, yeah, it looks like they're going to grill them, but how come they still getting away with it if they're really doing something about it? That's what I'm saying. So that's what tells me that, a lot of Congress and different entities like that and governments working with them because they ain't really doing nothing to them because, they work hand in hand and, getting,
What about the data
paying each
breach?
other
What
off.
did they do about that?
There was something else that you found that you said you were going to use.
So what'd you say?
About the data breach, what did they do about Zuckerberg and Facebook data breach?
They didn't do anything. They said they was going to do something, but they didn't say what they was going to do about it. So we still have it going on. I just got censored 6 days ago because
Are you able to post now?
I'm not able to comment anywhere, except in a chat room. That's it.
Zello even got censored, you said.
Oh, even a site called Zello is getting censored. Site I've been using.
Of course, I don't know. I think they might have said, "Hey Zuckerberg, I think we fucked up when you built this platform. Now they're exposing all these young kids and these adults and these straight doctors. They're exposing this shit that we're doing. They're exposing what the government's doing. You dumb son of a bitch." They're going, "Oh fuck!" But he's making $1 billion. The whole point of it is he's making money. They're not going to do nothing. They're not going to shut nothing when they're making this type of money. How does Zuckerberg make his money? Through advertisement? I don't know how that works.
Through advertisement. Plus, he owns and bought out other social media sites. You think about Snapchat. What's that other one that's real popular? Instagram.
Did he buy out Instagram?
Yep. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
He don't get food stamps, does he? He doesn't get food stamps, does he?
Oh, hell no. Him and like Jeff Bezos is the richest tech companies, and even Jeff Bezos supposedly had something to do with Donald Trump getting censored. But I mean, you think about it. If one party was against the other party, they would really do something about it. But again, it's political theater. Otherwise, something had already been done about it.
Exactly. That's the whole point. So they can say that all Democrats and Republicans, but you're not doing anything about it. There's nothing being done. That means they're working together. You know what I mean? It's just common fucking sense. And people are not understanding that both sides are working together. They've always have. No, that's not true. Yes, it is true, you dumb sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Yeah, so my girlfriend Kelly, somebody come into her store today. It has video that we're trying to get from him. So she doesn't know who doesn't know him, but the friend that she works with knows him. He was there during the riots. And I can't remember how he stated it. There was nothing. It's like he said it looked like a fucking setup.
Oh yeah.
They were standing. I mean, I can't remember all what she said. I got to talk to her again, but I'm gonna get video proving it was fucking staged.
Oh yeah, and you think
it's Trump's involved with it? Stupid sons of bitches. What are people? I think we had somebody in our group. Just no disrespect to stay off of Facebook for a day. What does that do? What needs to happen if you're going to go that route is to delete your account. Everybody boycott Facebook and delete your fucking account because staying off Facebook, Twitter, it's not disrespecting a person in our group, but it's not going to do anything.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing really we can do except, get the fucking message out. Oh, well, you ought to go up there and you ought to go start a revolution. Go ahead, dumbass. Go up to the, go up there and start a revolution in your state and see if you don't get shot. See if they don't fucking come and take your property from you. Oh, yeah, that's what would happen. Just can't do something like this without planning something. You need more than 5 people to go up there and do something. So
I know I know what their plan is behind the setup. I know what they're shooting for. I've been piecing it together little by little. There's two things that they're shooting for. In order for the new world order, one world government to happen.
That's not true either, Mike. Yes, go ahead. What the fuck?
In order for that to happen, to get a group of people to encourage them to come up there to the Capitol, they're they're going to have people already cherry picked and set in play. That when you go up to the Capitol, and there will be a group of people that will try to go in there. They're going to mix.
Can I interrupt you? Okay, number one, Mike, I'll tell you where you know it's fake is because everybody there had been shot dead. Did you see the video? There was like one security guard and these people break in. Bullshit, dude. They'd been shot. They'd been shot. Everybody that was rushing in there, which there was, I don't know how many that was rushing into. They would have been fucking shot immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was one person. Remember how it started out with one person? Then all of a sudden there's 3 people. Then there's 70. Come on. Mm-hmm. They've all been fucking shot. Period.
Oh yeah.
That's where you show it's a fucking PSYOP. You know, like you can't even get on the fucking grounds without being shot on like the White House, like the Capitol up there, like that.
And the reason I say it's
shot. What the fuck?
The reason I say it's a PSYOP, I've been looking deep into it. Remember when I was talking about Q as a PSYOP? They was talking about in the beginning when it first started, they was going to arrest Deep State and drain the swamp and all that. Well,
where'd that happen?
One of the people that infiltrated had like one of those Viking hats with the horns, and it had a QAnon sign when they got in there. So that ties Q. That ties QAnon, which is CIA. Ties it into the breach into the White House. But
he's sitting here going like this. Oh, dude, you'd be fucking shot right there. They'd have so many undercover agents. There would be FBI swarming, whoever would be involved. That dude would have been shot right between his fucking eyes. Period. Anybody, where was he at? Like standing or something? Give me a break, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a fucking you can't even. It's like invading the airspace. You can't come in with so many fucking, I don't know what it is, miles. Let's shoot your damn plane down. So
and then right after that, when that happened, it gave the government an excuse for the military and National Guard to be activated around the Capitol. Like Bill Bunning was said, martial law has already been activated, although it's never been said that they've been activated. But since the national emergency, when Trump declared national emergency, it's already been activated. All they did, during the national emergency is set them up into play around the United States, and then they got them in position, ready to move in each state after this false flag operation, like January 6th. Because also Trump is encouraging, what was it, 17th or 20th? That everybody goes to their capital and protest, right? So we're watching January 6th. It's going to be the same thing. In different states, they're going to have undercover people already in these crowds to swarm into the Capitol, and therefore they've got the excuse to deploy the National Guard and the military all across the United States, and then that'll be around the second lockdown. Well, then martial law will be in full effect, where everybody had to stay in their home, and then they want to suspend and get rid of the First Amendment. That'll be an excuse to get rid of that because of civil unrest, and then the Second Amendment, because that's what they're shooting for. The First and Second Amendment is the angle that they're shooting for, so they need the excuse to get some hired crisis actors, undercover agents in these crowds to cause a scene, on the news, the corporate news that they work with, to propagandize that and turn more people against each other. And then these people, once they see it on the news, they're going to be psychologically manipulated from what they see on the news, and they're going to call for martial law themselves. So they're manipulating people and persuading people to want martial law by having these actors set into play.
Come on, man. You know that. They'd bust a cap in your fucking ass. Oh, no, it's just this one right that they're not going to do anything. They shot one person. That's what I was sort of. You see how they keep changing the story from one person to three people, 70 arrests, and then that Derek Evans. Well, like I did the side-by-side audio with the one from Twitter. It doesn't show his face talking, and try to line it up with the YouTube video where he's actually being interviewed by the news and he's talking. And it doesn't even sound like Derek Evans. The guy more sounds like Diaz, and Derek Evans has a little bit of a slang, but it is clearly not his voice. Clearly not his voice. And the pictures that they're showing, it has a guy in a fucking mask. He's wearing, first he's wearing like a mask with what was it, like a Rebels jumpsuit, warm-up suit or something, and then he's wearing like a helmet with no mask on. So it's just really odd how this goofy son of a bitch. It's so.
And something else, another angle I got to thinking about. Let's say there is a slim chance. Yeah, let's say Biden did win, right? And Trump didn't. But there's a slim chance where that's going to be set up too. I was watching Monograph. He put out a video that had good talking points in it, where he was breaking down gematria. You know, the gematria has ties into that's one secret society group, Illuminati. Yeah. Like with the cards, he was talking about the cards and all that, and he said he did the numbers. He said the next president-elect, the numbers came out where, was it the 17th or the 20th? The 20th, it said Biden, that it said something about Biden getting took out. Like either if it's a real assassination or a fake assassination due to the gematria that he was doing and the Illuminati card that, you know, he was doing from 1995. So therefore, if people go research that Monograph, go research that video and watch it, it gives you a different angle, you know, how this could go. And Trump gets back in there, and he could be the last president before, you know, this new world order thing, and then you won't have any more elections or, you know, freedoms and all that.
Well,
so that's another.
Well, that's what I'm saying is we already got the documents. They were not fucking filed.
Right.
Any of these fucking suits.
And then I could tell you plenty of different at least 2 or 3 different sites that discuss gematria and things like that. Call for Uprising. That's a good site. You know, if anybody hasn't checked that out yet, check that out. And also Logic Before Authority. They talk about gematria similar to what Monograph was talking about. So there's about 2 or 3 different sites that I found that was, you know, talking about the gematria numbers back in '95, how they predictively programmed with the Illuminati cards and the Simpson cards with Trump, and now they got a Simpson episode talking about Biden. So it all ties into gematria.
Yeah, predicted off. Not they predicted Illuminati trading cards. I was going to buy those a long time ago. I was going to buy those. They're copyright 94.95. And fucking Twin Towers, the Pentagon. It's fucking PSYOP, bro. Straight up.
And you want to know a hidden symbol and another hidden symbol that happened? Was it a $20 bill you could fold a certain way and it looks like the attack on the Twin Towers?
Yeah.
Smoke coming out of the Twin Towers? So
that's just fucking bizarre how they do this. It's just they have run this scam for so long they got it down to a T. Like predicted this. Like we predict, it's not like Nostradamus. Nostradamus, I don't really call him anything that he predicted anything. It's just like, oh, well, what he predicted was going to happen anyway. Like, oh, well, he predicted, oh, well, a dog was going to get hit by a car. Shit like that. That event was going to happen. He didn't really predict anything. He was a deep thinker and he was intelligent, but he didn't, in my opinion, he didn't predict anything. Well, you're going to fuck your wife in the ass tomorrow. Well, eventually you are going to fuck your wife in the ass sometime. I know. I'm not saying you, Mike. I'm just saying. So
you're making a point.
These trading cards that we're getting back to are not by chance. They're not just like, okay, this is, you know what I'm saying? Donald Trump, 9/11. It's all psyops, man. Every bit of it. And people are like,
for the last couple hundred years that I know of, following different articles and piecing things together, secret society groups like the Illuminati, I'm not saying it's the only group, but it's the only one I've been researching that does gematria.
We need to
for the last couple hundred years, they've been, doing this predictive programming, and how they could know the future is, the only thing I can think of is when how when you deal with spiritualism, where some people pray to God or does witchcraft or whatever.
Yeah.
The Illuminati group, they deal with demons and stuff like that. So it's very, very highly likely that, these people that are high in the, the elite ladder that deal with the occultism, summoning demons and stuff, that, they could have been possessed by a demon. And the demon itself could have predicted the future of things. Because, a demon isn't human, and they know, a lot more than what a regular human would know. Or they could have a psychic.
This was predicted, Twin Towers and Trump. This was predicted in 94, 95, where this motherfucker was ever thought of being fucking president.
Before and then Twin Towers happened, 2002, 2003, 2004 when Bush was in office?
2001.
So all that
9/11.
So, like back in the 90s, when they predicted all this, I mean, how would they know? How would they know?
Because it was pre-planned.
That's one way, but how would they know decades later?
They wouldn't, because they planned to do this shit. They planned it. They planned it in advance. They didn't predict anything. Right. They planned it. I guess a planned prediction, would that be something like a planned prediction?
A planned diction, that's a new word we could use. Yeah, it's a planned diction.
Okay, we got another. Okay, Fight for Freedom, West Virginia. Mike.
All right.
Hold on. Mike McClure came up with the word plan diction, and we'll put the date because that's pretty slick, Mike. Plan diction. Was that what you said?
Yeah, plan diction.
You made up the word. That doesn't even exist. So there you go, man. And you've made up other stuff. So you could be put in the books right there. We'll put you in the books and coming up with that name. See, we work together, man.
It's like if you look at it like this as well, they come up with the word conspiracy theory back in the 40s. That was a made up word by the CIA. Or
so was it sovereign? Was made up by the FBI?
I think so, yeah.
Sovereign,
and then Eminem, he come up with the word "stan" that got put in the dictionary. And all a stan is somebody that's a crazed fan that wants to be like their role model or supermodel, whatever. So they're a crazed fan. That's what a stan is. That's a made up term. And it wasn't until years later, after that song "Stan," that Wikipedia got a hold of Eminem and put that word in the dictionary. But yeah, a planned diction. What a planned diction is, like, you gave me the idea. Let's say a group or individual, 10
Sit down
years,
and plan out a plan for
10,
something to happen in the future. And
yeah,
then
10 to 30 years or 40 years in the past have planned something that was going to happen in the present or the future. That's a planned diction.
or the near future. Yeah.
So
That's what it is. That's what the Illuminati cards are. Yeah, you're right. See, you're gonna be famous, bro. You'll be famous off that word, bro. Planned diction. That's sweet, Mike. That's good right there, bro. We two geniuses think alike. We fucking tear them up, dude. I got like, well, you need to watch what you say, Richard. Oh, fuck these people, man. I don't even care. Am I out slapping kids around? Do I beat on my animals? Am I a child abuser? Do I do any of this? But I cuss. We're not going to watch Fight for Freedom because they say dick, pussy, snot sometimes. Give me a break. Go watch P for P and all these fake groups that don't do anything. We're not here spreading. Yeah, so I did. I said because it's not your fault, so I'm not jumping your ass. So don't think that I am. But I did see where they were saying that. What was it that we got a warning for Fight for Freedom? It said something that we were spreading false information or something like. I'm going, what the hell are you talking about?
I clicked into that, and when I read it, it said partly false information about those military vehicles. Okay, if it was partly false information, and what it said in the community standards and guidelines that the military that was in those vehicles, or National Guard, one of the two, they wasn't armed. But you looked at the video, it showed them, the people that was stopping, videotaping it in their vehicle. It showed that the convoys and the vehicles had armed soldiers in the back of them. Where it said partly false information is they were saying it was partly false because those soldiers wasn't armed. That's why they flagged us for.
And they can't say that it's false information when you're getting it from a news site or when you're getting it from another source.
Right. And it wasn't from a news site. It was actually a guy and a woman sitting in a truck. I don't know what state they was in. I guess they was in a big truck lot where the gas station is. I guess you would say what a TA truck stop, somewhere like that, where it had a big parking lot and it had the gas station. They got them across the United States. They was sitting there, and the National Guard and the military was crossing. They was stopped, and they was videotaping through their window, and it showed a bunch of soldiers walking. They had armed with guns, and then it showed the vehicles where they had, I guess, machine guns on the back of the convoy and military vehicles. So if it was partly false, and they said they didn't have no weapons when they did, then guess who was lying? The fact checkers was lying. And what a fact checker is, a lot of people don't understand that either, is meaning, hey, we're fact checkers, but what they're really telling you without telling you is, hey, we're going to censure you for telling any type of factual information or truth. So a fact checker is censorship. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's good thinking. Yeah, and you said that who was. Yeah, so how can oh hell, I got her stomach hurts. Yeah.
And another example instance we could bring up is where they censored you for sharing a Time Life's magazine about Man of the Year Hitler. And they said that was false. What they say? They say it was false or partly false. Is that what they struck you for?
They said it was false information. I don't.
If it was false, then how come the magazine is out there and you can look it up and you can still get it, online, or you can look it up and it shows you the magazine clear as day that, Hitler was Man of the Year back when they issued that magazine. So if it's false, then how come it's out there where you can get a hold of it?
It's not false because it's even on Wikipedia, and it shows his book covers. It shows the Time magazine covers. So it's not even.
So I figured this would be a good episode. We're a counter news source. We are countering the fact checkers in the mainstream media that are doing psychological operations
Now,
and
repeat what
censorship.
you said, that we are countering. Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. We are countering.
So now people get to see the other side of the coin rather than just the mainstream or the social media that does the fact checking or puts out a narrative that is completely polar opposites of what facts and truth really is. If you think about it,
they can't. Okay, how can they be a fact? How can they be a fact checker when where are they going to say that? They can't say that something is or not a fact unless there's evidence. So how can they say that it was false information? Because there has to be evidence before it can be a fact. So how in the hell could they say that the Hitler Man of the Year, but that's false information, but there's Time magazine covers? That's evidence, so it's a fact. Stupid sons of bitches. I mean, people are... So like I said, you can't call something a fact without evidence. You got to have evidence to back the fact. That's why somebody calls it a fact. You have to have evidence. It's because 20 people say the same thing. Even, if in a court of law, like me and you, I would believe what you say. So I really wouldn't have to need the evidence. But in a court of law, that you can't take a case in the court on witnesses or hearsay. Hearsay is not
and I knew
the matter.
Didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
So let's go back to the January 6th, or right before January 6th. I knew people in some groups, and they're not violent people. They're good people. I told them I had a bad feeling. I told them it's a setup. Do not go. It's going to be bad. Well, what happened when I warned them about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and a lot of them went. That happened inside of the White House, and then the National Guard and a lot of alphabet agencies doubled down, and the numbers all of a sudden when they got called in to the White House, they put the White House on full lockdown. They even have fences up around the White House with soldiers.
But they didn't do it in this riot, did they? Come on in! Tear the place up!
That's why I said it's a setup.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. You can't even come...
And old Bill, he was right.
Secret Service wasn't there either?
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah.
However, and also what's weird about it, a mile or 2 miles away from the White House, Trump was out doing a speech during when he encouraged everybody to come to the White House. He was 2 miles away from the White House. So that's the strange thing about it. You know what I mean?
So he's Illuminati bloodline, bro. Wouldn't he be? I know William said that he's a wannabe Illuminati, or they wouldn't accept him, but he would still.
His dad.
Yeah. So he is see the bloodlines, man. That's what I said about West Virginia, bro. It's everybody is connected some way, whether they're like a best friend. We got judges, like I said, Wood County. That their wives are a magistrate judge or the attorney. You know what I'm saying? Come on, dude. Then you got like the Bushes or Illuminati. Fuck. You got Trump. You got Hillary Clinton. What they related and shit? Are they like blood related?
Oh yeah, I shared some articles about that.
I heard that
presidential.
Yeah, you told me that a while back, and it's true. They're freaking cousins. They're blood related. Yeah. Are they blood related?
Yeah. What I found, and I found a couple different articles. I shared it on the page. That they are. I think she's a distant first or second cousin.
But they're still.
Nothing surprises me anymore. It don't. I mean, we can assume that, but nothing would surprise me if it did or didn't happen. It wouldn't surprise me if it did happen. What I found. But
let me check the audio real quick.
Second cousin.
Okay, because last time we did that one live and it didn't pick up very well. The audio didn't work. It's blood ties. That's like West Virginia, like I'm saying, is they're cherry picked. They're all cherry picked. I'm proving that. I told you that back when me and you started talking. They're fucking cherry picked. I prove this shit every day with this stuff. And then the guy drops his head. He's like,
and I will defend one guy that used to be in government. He still was tied to his son that's in the Senate, Congress. Ron Paul, he's been censured, and he's one of the last few people in government that I know of that has his own show called the Liberty Report. They shut him down and censored him. And, he talks about stuff, how we should audit the Federal Reserve.
Right.
No, he was talking about how it should happen where they can't,
like a forensic accounting audit,
a federal audit.
Well, yeah,
nationwide.
That's never going to happen. There's too many people to cover it up.
Yeah, but he's the one that tried to fight for it. Remember when he ran for president? Was it Bush or against before Obama? It might have been Bush or Cheney, and they never let him in there because he was a champion wanting to change a lot of things like the Federal Reserve and corruption and going to war with other countries over natural resources. If I had to compare Ron Paul, I would call him a modern day Thomas Jefferson, because he was truly about the Constitution, but the political elite class, they don't want nobody in there that has the mindset to be about the Constitution and fight for the Constitution.
Now you better watch his ass. He's gonna end up dead, because usually that's what happens. That's why I don't care who's in, Ron Paul. That's what I've heard the same thing, but I still don't trust him. If they're connected anyway within the government, it looks good because the simple fact of it is, I'm not disagreeing or disagreeing with you, Mike, about Ron Paul. What I'm saying is they're such good actors. Of course, they're going to go in there and expose each other, but who cared? Okay, they expose each other, but nothing's done, so it doesn't really matter.
But I'd like to get him on a podcast.
I can say you're gay. I exposed you. You can say that I'm gay or something. I'm not saying that. That's not a good example. Sorry. But it doesn't, if we're in this club, this big boy club, or this, what do they call that? This fucking good old boys club. They did.
Right.
They're all in it. They're all in the good old boy system. That's doctors, clear up to the circuit court, Supreme Court.
The best way I can
say they can expose. Trump's expose him, and he's part of them too. You see how good of an actor he is. He's a fucking Illuminati puppet. It's what he is. So you see how good he acts. So you could have a Ron Paul to say, "Well, I'm exposing this." Well, nothing's being done, buddy. See, if I was in power, this shit wouldn't be happening. If I was a freaking governor of a state, number one, I'd probably be assassinated in about a month. I would be doing something. I'm a legislator of any state. So I'd be going, okay, I want this judge investigated. I want this CPS, this division of CPS investigated. Neither side's doing anything.
And I'll make a couple good. Go ahead, man.
About this crap, because they're playing. You see how good of an actor you got? Wasn't Ronald Reagan a fucking actor? Holy shit, people! He was an actor before he was the president. Oh, get him in there. He's a good actor, a government actor. You see what I'm saying? They can, like I'm saying, they expose themselves. The Democrats and Republicans expose each other for the same shit. What's being done? It doesn't matter if they expose each other because nobody's going to do anything about it. So it's this big theater. Trump going in there. Let's drain the swamp. What? You didn't do nothing, you dick. You didn't do anything. You're, like I said, a president has unlimited power under the United States Constitution. He most certainly does. What did he do? What did he do that made it that we have found that worked? From his executive orders.
I'll tell you two things.
What was it? The Buchanan Act. What was that? Family First stopping. They didn't defund CPS, and it didn't stop CPS from removing children from school and from the homes. People were flooding freaking his office, I'm sure. But what I was hearing on Facebook is that people were contacting Trump over CPS against these corrupt courts. What did Trump fucking do about it? You see what I'm saying? Then put me right now. Put me in as a president. I'd fuck so many people's worlds. I would shut down this entire state of West Virginia. West Virginia would be the first state, not only because I live in this state, because I've been through it. And I would make an example out of the state. You let me be a president I'd say, if I had total control over the country, give me 6 months and I could clean up West Virginia. Get this piece. I'd go from the fucking Supreme Court, they would be out. I want them in prison. I want every single one of them. Anybody in the legislators, I want them in prison. And I would work down the chain.
What Bill Bundy, good point I was going to make. I was going to touch on a couple points speaking about this. Bill Bundy said 2 presidents throughout history have that wasn't a part of the bloodline, but maybe their wives were, or somebody that was a friend or whatever. Let's say John F. Kennedy. He wasn't a part of the Illuminati, but his wife was. So the reason John F. Kennedy got took out because his wife was tied to the bloodline, and she had, behind the scenes had the hit put out on JFK.
Supposedly.
So, people like that, or Nancy Schaefer. That's another good one to touch up on, where she was really trying to do something about CPS, and they took her out. So it's people like that, get took out because they actually tried to do something. Because if you don't watch what you say and you file, go ahead and do it anyway, they're going to get rid of you one way or the other.
Hey, say that again. Say exactly what you just said. Again. If you do something, they'll try to take you out. Ron Paul.
Right. See what
I'm saying?
Right. And
how's he protected? You see what I'm getting at?
Well, Rand Paul, where he was against Steve Scalise shooting back, 2 or 3 years ago, when all those senators had a baseball game and they was playing baseball on a baseball field.
Really?
Yeah. And not long after that, Rand Paul, he was speaking out. He was speaking out and, exposing things. And they tried to take out one of the senators at the game because he was trying to do something. And now he's hush about it because they tried to take him out. And Rand Paul, reason he's careful about what he's saying nowadays, because somebody in the neighborhood, one of his neighbors, I guess, what I hear, got paid off or something, and they assaulted Ron Paul and broke his ribs. So he got sent to the hospital.
Ron Paul did?
Not Ron Paul, Rand Paul, his son.
He didn't ran far enough, didn't he? Fast enough.
But, that's, what we're talking about. Either they do take you out or they scare you into second guessing and be like, hey, I shouldn't say or do this, but, just put on fear.
They don't. That's the whole point. So we get back with the JFK, right?
Right.
Have you seen the photo? The autopsy photos are Photoshop, bro. They have the part of where where he gets shot. You can see where they spliced the fucking tape. It shows different times of the day. You got to go back and watch that. They're going, we don't think he was assassinated. So you motherfuckers better be like rewinding your brains a little bit, because I'm not saying that he's not assassinated. We can't prove that shit. But what I'm saying is, I repeat myself. What I've went through with all this fake shit that I've dealt with, all the corruption I dealt with, I don't believe it. Do I believe that JFK was assassinated? If I look at everything else that we're looking at with Trump, or we're looking at Biden, and all these other presidents, what's going on in the world? Do I personally think that JFK was murdered or assassinated? No, I don't. I mean, that's my opinion. You know what I mean?
And that makes up another good point. What I was talking about earlier is with the Illuminati cards and the gematria numbers about Biden. If you know gematria, which I'm new at it, I don't know a whole lot about it. You probably could debunk it better than I can, because you've been researching it more than I have.
What's that?
Gematria numbers with the Illuminati.
I know, like the 7-7 and different signs and shit.
Illuminati cards and the gematria.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll check it.
But where I was watching Monograph yesterday, and he was talking about it, where gematria numbers add up to Biden, him temporarily being in office, and then something about him being eliminated due to the gematria numbers that he added up.
Like a fake assassination?
Either, real assassination or fake. It could be one of the two. However way they're going to play it and spin it.
I mean, see, that's what I'm saying, this old prick. I mean, so Trump, you see, with all the shit that Trump was doing, Trump was exposing all this shit. The Democratic hoax, right? But it doesn't matter, because they're not going to do nothing. That's the whole point. They've done something to me. I can prove my case in saying, what I believe is true, what's going on, because they've done it to me. So when you're seeing, okay, that's a point test, like I said, we go back to Lisa Lucas. That was a psyop, bigger than fuck that was.
And I will.
You know what I mean? So they can play these little games. You can't fool me.
And I will defend.
I'm a veteran, motherfucker. Vet of this corruption game, bro.
As much as I hate to admit this, I think Bill Barr and Mike Pence done the right thing by not agreeing to, I guess, to give a vote or investigation into something when the other party is just as guilty. That's why Bill Barr resigned, because he didn't want to get into that. He didn't want to go to jail and he'd be caught up in it. So he did the right thing by not getting involved in it, because the other side, had their hands dirty as well, as far as that goes. And Mike Pence did the same thing.
Well,
so
you're correct. What I'm saying is they're not doing anything. So they can expose each other. Democrats and Republicans can expose themselves all day.
Right.
Okay, well, that's one hell of a pretty good act. I mean, what's being done? I could say if me and you were in politics, if me and you were judges or somebody high up in there, and we went after each other, and I said, Mike, you fucking embezzled $600 million, and you go, Rich, you did the same thing. And we're showing evidence, but guess what? We're part of the good old boys club. They're not going to do nothing to either one of us.
Mm-hmm. That's how it works.
What's going on. That's how it works. People are like, that's not true. I know what I'm talking about. Me and you know what we're talking about. So this Derek Evans, you bum sons of bitch. Oh my God,
it's all theater, folks.
It's theater, like about it. But he's not a good actor, though. I mean, there's no, I don't know what you want to say, but that one dude with the shit on the, come on, dude. See, you'd be shot. Anybody that even tried any of that shit, they've been shot in cold blood.
And people that was a real patriot, and I'll tell you one real patriot that deserves to be exempt and not tried for what he did was Julian Assange. Julian Assange, because the WikiLeaks leak on the HRC about the bleaching the servers and destroying the servers. He leaked
like
that out. That was
scraping the net, or what they call it, or taking out all the taking that. But it's
exposed that.
Impossible for them to even do that. I know what you're saying, but it'd be impossible to do unless if they deleted it from their server. I can't remember how you can still find that there, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Where'd you go now? Where you got mad and froze up? Let's see something here. What happened, Mike? You still with us? Where'd you go now? Where you got mad and froze up? Let's see something here. Okay. It's still the same picture. Let me see. We're having some tech. See what happened. Let's see if we get Mike McClure back on. Let's see something. No, brother, I'm still on, bro. Waiting for you to get back on, bro. No, brother, I'm still on, bro. Okay. Do you want me to restart this live? See what he says.
Yeah, it showed on your end that you was froze up. It still said it was live. I could see me. I guess they might have cut me off there. So let me click back into the app and see if that works.
Wow. Shit, my ass hurts.
Yeah, go ahead. Send another link and we'll restart it. But whatever you did get, let's see if you can save it and splice it together.